Welcome to Entry Level Moms. I know we've been gone for a couple of weeks, but we are back. My name is Nazra.
I'm Suia.
And today we have two more special guests, and this is going to be such a great episode, guys. We have today the founders of Orbit.
Hi.
I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Please tell us who you are and what you do and what is Orbit.
Yeah, well, I'm Brenda. I'm the co-founder of Orbit, mum to a 3-year-old, and what do I do for Orbit? More the behind the scenes stuff, so partnerships, designing, planning type of stuff. And Shanice, my best friend.
Hi, so co-founder of Orbit. I also have a 3.5-year-old, hectic times. And I love more kind of like the front facing stuff. I love like the events, the speaking to people, the networking. That's like my bag. So we kind of do the opposite things.
Yeah.
I love the things that she hates.
Oh,
She loves-
hate.
Not hate.
I prefer not to.
And vice versa. So yeah, now we're
That
besties.
works. You guys sound like you guys balance each other out.
Yeah.
It's a bit
very
like me
much
and
so.
Suia.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very outgoing. I'm more like you, Shanice. And Suia's more introverted. She's more like you, Brenda.
Yeah, that's why sometimes
And
when you say
it-
certain
yeah.
things, I'm like,
That is the same.
I'm like, do you know how we've had to cut out a lot of stuff that I've said.
yeah. No, honestly, I'm so excited. I can't talk, man.
English is fighting.
It's been a minute. I'm really excited to have you guys. Can you talk about like how you came together and started this and what the mission is for Orbit, what it's about?
Yeah. So I guess when I became a mum, I kind of realized that everyone lied about motherhood. Nobody was honest about what to expect. Everyone was kind of talking about what to expect in terms of like sleep deprivation, but no one went into detail about like just what it felt like, the emotions that were involved with it, and just how much of myself I felt changing. And there was no real like explanation as to like how to cope or how quickly things happen. And so my daughter, she like out of nowhere, she started having this rash. And I felt really guilty because I was breastfeeding at the time and I felt like it was something I was doing. And I just felt really just on edge. If people wanted to see her, I felt like they'd judge me as a first-time mum. And my partner didn't really understand like why I was so anxious about people seeing her, or what if people comment, are they now going to blame me because I'm breastfeeding and I must be doing something. So I was cutting out so much things in my diet and it wasn't getting any better. It was actually getting worse. And it wasn't until I started talking about like just how I was feeling, I just saw like a flood of women. They just got it. They just understood exactly what it was that I was going through. They validated it. And then for me, it was kind of a like, oh shit moment. Like, okay, if we're all feeling this way, why the hell is no one talking about this? Why are we, trying to shy away from the realities of it? And I wouldn't say making it seem like it's easy, because it kind of does feel like it's easy when the babies are cute and they're queuing and you can buy all the cute outfits. Yeah.
Cute from the outside, aesthetically.
Yeah, but then like the reality of it is this is actually hard. And if everyone is feeling this way, why aren't we speaking openly about it? And when I was typing on Google trying to find stuff, I was finding threads, but they were from like 2016. There was no one to kind of bounce off any ideas or anything. And that's kind of how Orbit was born. I wanted it to be a place where women were surrounded by love, by support, by opportunity, and by just realness. And yeah, it just blossomed into what it's become now. I met Shanice from it. It just grew into something that was bigger than the original purpose, but the mission has always been to amplify women's voices.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm gonna cry.
No, I hear
That's the
that
exact reason
because-
why we started this.
Yeah.
No, because literally, like when I met Nazra, also like I felt alone as well. And when I gave birth, it was literally because I was pregnant throughout COVID and everything. I didn't have that. I didn't feel that community. I didn't get that baby shower. Like I felt like I was just like, yeah, this is kind of like I feel alone.
Yeah.
So when I was interviewing Nazra for my blog and we came up with this whole idea, I thought, like there's so many women who can relate, and I felt less alone when I spoke to Nazra, and I thought, you know what, like we can help so many people just by sitting here and talking about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you need one thing you need when you become a mother is community.
Absolutely.
Like 100%. Like it really does take a village. And I didn't realize until I had a baby.
Yeah.
Like how lonely it can feel. You can feel so alone, even though you have family around you. Like when you're up doing the night feeds, like you have I have a whole partner, but listen, like after a couple of weeks, he went back to work.
Yeah.
His life resumed exactly the way it was before. And my whole life changed.
Yeah.
And like, he'd come home and I'd be like sleep deprived. I'd be like a zombie, and there's just there's like a gap. Like he gets that it's hard, but it's like he still doesn't.
There's still a barrier in like what they know and understand. I'd find myself sometimes saying things and the response is like, not that it's necessarily a bad response, but this is just not, you like, don't get it. You just don't get it. Whereas I can call Brenda in tears and be like, this is happening and Milan just did this and I just want to do this.
I'm like, girl, I feel you.
I got you. I get it.
Yeah.
And it's just different. So being surrounded by other women who just get it and they understand and sometimes they don't even have to say anything. It's just an understanding between each other. Like it's so necessary.
And I think also like there is no competition with it. I feel like motherhood online is very competitive. Is your child crawling at this month?
Yeah.
Is your daughter reading this? Is like everything is competition. Even the way you parent starts to feel like competition. Whereas what we found was when we were having these conversations, it wasn't about like, okay, you might have 3 kids and someone's just started, like everyone is going through what they're going through. And we talk a lot about like, yeah, it takes a village to raise a child, but like it also takes a village to raise this new mum. Like who does she call when she's like stressed? Who does she call when she just wants to shake a leg? Who does she call when actually she just wants to cry and just sit in her feelings? Because everything is go, go, go. And it's rare that you have moments where you can just slow down, take a step and just like be you again. I feel like it's taken me maybe 3 years to feel like myself since having my daughter. And that's been great. I mean, even coming today, she was like, make sure you don't come back home late. I'm thinking, girl, who are you talking to? But like, it's taken me so long to get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable with like, I guess my new identity of I am her mum, but I also feel comfortable just being Brenda. And don't talk to me about my daughter. Like, if she's not here, she's not here. Like, I'm doing what I'm doing. Yes.
You know what? I'm the same. Because mine's also 3.5. She's going to be 4 in Jan.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, when?
On like the 14th.
My daughter's a 9th. And my daughter's a 9th.
I'm the 12th.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Literally, January babies. Right before COVID as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was hard. How did you find that though? Because
COVID was horrible.
it went from like all this support in the first like 3 months to then all of a sudden nothing for like 6 months.
Do you know how I felt? I felt that while I was pregnant, and I don't know, whenever I say this, sometimes people judge me, they feel like it's a bit selfish, but there was a lot of attention on me when I was pregnant. Like, are you okay? Can I get you anything? As soon as I give birth.
No,
Yeah.
Not a single, not a single soul.
Yeah.
Not a single soul would ask me, are you all right? How are you feeling today? Like, I was so important when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And now I'm already feeling lonely. And I'm
it's
feeling
how's the baby?
isolated. And
Yeah.
everything is baby. Even I'm like, okay, have I showered today? Like, have I brushed my
the
teeth?
attention's on the baby.
Yeah.
Have I even
The
brushed? Have I even like? Have I even looked in the mirror? Don't even know what I look like. You know them ones. You start to feel like so alone.
And so
Yeah.
last
Such
time
a
I had a
horrible
pedicure.
feeling.
Yeah, I hear
Oh,
that.
them ones.
COVID times. Oh, I didn't want to see the toes.
But I agree with you. Honestly, like the 3 years. It's taken 3 years.
Yeah.
It's taken me 3 years to get to where I am as well. And in that time, I broke up with my daughter's dad. In that time, there was a lot going on. Like it was a lot. But 3 years and a half later, I actually feel the most like Nazra that I felt.
And you don't feel guilty about
in
it.
so long. No, now
Yeah.
she's with her dad right now. I don't feel guilty. Like, I don't even want to talk about her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when people ask me about her, where is she? She's with her dad. Like, am I worried about her? No. Am I thinking about her? Yeah, I miss her, but not really.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna see her tomorrow. You know them ones.
Yeah, I'm
I feel
out
like-
of sight, out of mind. When she's not with me,
Literally out of sight, out of mind.
yeah, we outside.
Literally.
Baby who, mother where?
Yeah.
No, but it's honestly, it's taken 3.5 years, and this is why I tell my friends as well, the ones that just have babies. I'm like, the first year's the ghetto.
It
The
is.
first year is the ghetto. After that, it will get better.
Yeah.
New challenges, different problems. Obviously, being a toddler, yours tells you make sure you don't come back late. Mine says to me, don't talk to any strangers. I'm like, I talk to all the strangers, but okay, thanks. But no, honestly, 3 years.
It takes a while.
Sounds like a long time, innit?
Yeah.
But you blink and it goes. Look
There's
how
so
long
much
ago
happens in
COVID
the
was.
time.
It feels like it was yesterday, right?
Yeah. COVID was, I was pregnant during COVID. So it was, I was pregnant like middle of 2020.
Is that your first pregnancy?
Yeah, my first pregnancy. I found out I was pregnant middle of 2020. So that was like peak lockdown. And then I gave birth March 2021. And we still had restrictions and I still couldn't see people, and only one person was allowed to visit me. Like I couldn't even swap between my mum and my husband.
Oh, wow.
Only one person comes in, and like the timing of them coming in to the hospital was also restricted. So I would be alone all night and all morning, and they would come in at 12 p.m. Can you imagine?
Oh, wow.
So like I'm tired,
You'd be
bro. Like,
pulling your hair out. Literally.
Yeah.
I would prefer my husband to stay there all night. And then leave and then come back like the following night, but he had to come at 12 and leave at 8, so I'd be by myself at the worst time, which is overnight and all morning.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so it was COVID times was just, it was peak.
How was your experience with pregnancy throughout COVID?
The pregnancy part, like for me, my pregnancy was actually pretty nice. Like I didn't have any symptoms. I was just isolating myself. I was chilling, you know. I lost my job as well because of COVID just before I found out I was pregnant. So I thought, you know what, this is God's way of saying just relax. You know, I just accepted it. I said it is what it is. There's a whole pandemic. I don't want to be out here pregnant and working anyways.
Yeah, of course.
I'll use this time to just hibernate, right? And then throughout my pregnancy, though, I had to go to all my appointments alone. I couldn't bring anyone with me. All the scans, even towards the end when they suspected preeclampsia, I had to do all of that alone.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
And I remember, like, towards the end, I told the doctor, I said, listen, like, my mum and my husband are outside. I want them in here. Because you guys are about to tell me something important. And you're about to induce me. And listen, like, it was a room smaller than this. And they had one doctor, 2 nurses writing notes, right? And they all had masks on. And I'm thinking,
We can swap
these 2
somebody
nurses,
out.
they don't need to be in. Like, there's already a party in here. You might as well bring my mum. And do you know what I mean? So I had to tell them, like, listen, you're about to tell me something important. I just want support. Like, do you know, I don't even know what you're saying to me. I don't even know what preeclampsia is. So yeah, COVID times was really tough. And then obviously with postpartum, like, yeah, that was just a whole different ball game.
I think we needed COVID though.
I'm so happy it happened. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm so glad it happened.
You know,
Rest in
We
peace
need-
I
to the
didn't
soul.
want- bypass that part.
No, hold on.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Rest in peace to obviously rest in big rest in peace. I hope you like resting in the most peaceful state. Yeah. Obviously that part was sad, innit? But I feel like it really highlighted a lot of issues that we have
Absolutely.
in our society. The divorce rate went through the roof.
Yep.
Like people was just miserable. Then they realized, oh my God, I spend so much time at work. I want to spend more time at home.
Yep.
Yeah, the
And they
way that
realised-
we all work changed.
Yeah,
It's
the
not sustainable.
commuting, how many hours
Yeah.
and how much energy it takes out of your day. People got smart. People figured out how to finesse the system. I love
COVID
it.
really
So
changed
many
so
We
people
much.
needed
started,
it.
like-
I swear to God, we needed it.
So many people started side hustles during
No,
COVID.
Yeah.
And now it's
So
like
many
they're so
people.
glad that they had the time to be at home and
So
start their side
many.
hustle. And also, a lot of people are realizing like how to wash their hands properly. Like, let's be real. Like,
Well,
I feel
a lot
like
of people realizing that they need
people
to
are
wash
now
their hands.
realizing, oh, let's wash our hands and let's sing happy birthday 3 times. Like, come on, man, what were you doing before?
Hey, even I learned how to wash my hands properly.
No, because I'm so like, look, I don't think you guys. I work with my mum, right? Sorry, sidetrack. I work with my mum, yeah, and in the office building, I was in the toilet, and another woman came in after me, and then I came out. I was washing my hands. She walked out. She flushed the toilet and just walked out.
Impossible.
You have to say something. You have. Do you
As
know
in,
what?
like-
You've got to shame people like that.
I agree.
For me, I'm like,
Swear shame them.
and then they come back. So what's it?
I literally stood there and I was like, I stood and I.
You have to shame. You have to.
But
Okay.
like, if you don't wash your hands, yeah. If you don't usually wash your hands,
You have to shame people into doing the good things.
you know what I was thinking thinking in that moment, I was like, okay, clearly it's a habit because she didn't care that I was there.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you at least lie and pretend that you wash your hands? Because I'm there. I felt so embarrassed for her. I was like, did you just...
You have to shame.
Do
You've
you know
got to
what-
shame.
Do you know what, this is crazy? This is actually reminded me. So, a company I used to work for, there was a girl I used to work with, and she like would boldly say, mind you, that she won't wash her hands after a wee because it's just a wee. Like, she said this out and
my
out, big
God.
and bad, wrong and strong, stood 10 toes on it. I said, yeah,
Was she...
okay.
That's the hill that she was willing to
No,
die
you know,
on.
I was gonna say, but she wasn't.
She wasn't.
Wait, no.
Oh,
She
sad.
was not.
No.
She was a sister. Yeah.
You're lying.
Oh, I wish I was.
What area was she from?
I can't even remember.
Okay.
Wait.
It's
No,
giving
because-
East London.
We need to figure this one out. Was she adopted?
She might have been, because what do you mean you're not going to wash your hands after a wee?
Oh my God.
Sis, honey.
That's crazy.
I've
all
seen
the
people
germs.
tweet about they don't wash their hands when they're at home because it's their toilet.
It's impossible. It's
What?
actually impossible.
Yeah, because people are like, in public, yeah. But when I'm at home, I just, yeah, it's my toilet.
What?
Yeah, it's my toilet.
I'm telling you, there's certain things like people, keep it yourself. Keep it yourself. Keep it
Don't-
yourself.
yeah,
don't
don't
come
say
and
anything.
shout
Satan
about it. You're
himself
wrong. And
could not beat that
Please.
information out of me, bro.
No, I want
Satan
people. I
himself.
want people to expose themselves. That is disgusting.
Crazy.
there's just certain things I know with myself. I'm not gonna come and tell nobody. That's just for me to know, and I
Bro.
go on about my day.
Yeah.
You're coming to shout online
You have
about
to
it.
shame. You have
Okay.
to shame people.
It's like that time on Twitter when they said, "Oh, we
Wash-
don't
washing
wash
the
our
legs."
legs."
that one I never understood. I don't. How do you
letting
get
the
into the
water
shower? I don't get it. Like, so you step in and then you just do half your body. Like, what the
The
hell?
important areas are here, and here.
No.
Important areas.
Nah, don't. No. Sorry. Loud and wrong. Loud and wrong.
That is mad.
That is actually insane.
That conversation.
I was shocked.
Nah,
I
that
was so
conversation was
shocked.
hilarious on Twitter. Like the memes that came out of it. Oh no.
I can't trust anyone that don't wash their legs.
How do you?
The amount of accounts I blocked, I said, I cannot trust you as a human being. How do you get in the shower, soap up, and then you just forget this part? How do you do that?
There's so many things we do differently, you know. When I was at uni, I remember I was at my this girl that I made friends with, her house. She made us dinner, and then when she was washing up the dishes, it was like soap, and then put.
Yeah, I've
And
seen
I
that.
was
I've
like,
seen that.
Wait,
You know,
was she
my heart,
was
I
she
was like,
putting
you
in
know,
the
you
dishwasher
forgot-
or?
No, it was in the, you know, the, what is it
Dry
called?
rack.
The dry rack.
no.
I said, look. I said, look, you forgot something. And she was like, no, it's gonna run down by itself.
That's exactly. She sound like the
I
people that
said,
don't wash their legs.
That's how they clean themselves. It makes sense,
I
bro.
said, what?
It makes
I said,
sense.
yeah. She goes, yeah, the water's gonna run down it with. I said, it's got soap on it. It's gonna dry with soap on it, and then you're gonna pick it up and put food on it, and you're gonna eat it.
Now your food's gonna taste like fairy liquid.
Yeah, no.
Dude, I was so baffed. I tried to teach her. She was like, no, I've done this. This is how I've done it my whole life.
Yeah, uni was a
That's
culture
the
shock.
problem, honey.
I
What
said,
do
"Alright,
people
cool."
say? They always say, don't eat at just anyone's house.
Bro,
No, you can't.
Bro.
You can't. Anyways, guys,
Facts.
we went off track a little bit.
Just a tad.
We spoke about hygiene a little bit, but yeah, let's get into the whole breastfeeding thing, because I know you guys wanted to speak about that. So whoever wants to go first, just talk to me about breastfeeding. I need to actually learn about it, because I don't really. Because how long did you breastfeed for? Or attempted to
a
breastfeed?
total of 3 weeks.
Yeah, me, I was trying for like
If
probably
that.
the same amount. Yeah,
That.
and I just
Total of
couldn't
3
do
weeks.
it. I couldn't. I was barely
Was it
producing.
latching? Was it just production? Okay.
Like
cool.
I was sitting there pumping.
There was nothing coming as well for me.
Yeah, I'd be sitting there
Yeah.
pumping for like 45 minutes, and I would
hurts.
get like
That's what I was gonna say. Was it
Drops.
painful?
It would hurt so bad. It was like drops, Suya, as well.
drops, nothing.
I remember at the time, my sister-in-law at the time was encouraging me to pump. She was like, just don't give up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try not to give up. But then I'm sitting there for 45 minutes, hour, and I'm literally like, I could spit more than there was in there. And I was like, what the hell is like, is not supposed to be like this? Why does it hurt so much? Why is it droplets? And I feel like it's because my body was traumatized from the birth.
Okay.
That I think I just shut down, and I don't know. I just shut down, and my body was like, whoop, 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 wait a minute, we're done. and you're just gonna wake up and feed this child bottled milk because we can't do anything. I didn't feel like myself. My hormones was through the roof. I was just upset all the time. I had the maddest mum rage right after I gave birth. It was so bad. Like, I was just horrible. I was just so angry all the time.
Would anything trigger it?
For no reason. You could just look at me. What are you looking at? You know them? I was just so angry all the time. It was just so bad.
Is it because you felt like it didn't go?
No, it was my hormones. Everything inside me was just, it was going mad. Everything inside me. And I think that contributed as well to the lack of production, because I was just so traumatized. There's no other way for me to explain it. I was genuinely traumatized. I had a natural birth with no epidural, and it was...
Girl, you ain't gotta tell me. I did the exact same thing. It was...
Bruh.
Yeah, I honestly, before having a baby, I honestly thought baby comes out, the milk is just flying out there. Like,
So did I.
Spraying, and it's just so easy. It just comes naturally. No, I got the shock of my life. Like,
You got a rude awakening,
and
innit?
at some point, I did think to myself, maybe it's because I got induced 3 weeks early, and I had like a emergency C-section, and the baby came out quickly, and my body didn't really register that the baby was out. I don't know. I was just in my head. I was just thinking, how come my body's not producing the milk? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, you have pressure from family members.
You felt shame.
You have pressure saying, are you breastfeeding? Are you breastfeeding your child? The health visitor comes, is she breastfeeding? Yeah, you should try. And I'm like, bro, I am trying. I'm sitting here pumping. Like, even when I was trying to latch her on, like, she would spit it out and start crying. There's nothing coming out. What do you want me to do? Starve my child? Like, you know? And then as soon as I give her the formula, she's just satisfied. She drinks it up. And it just felt like the formula to me was like, I don't know, I was looking at the formula like...
Oh, there's a word for it in Somali.
What's the word? Like,
Nafaqo.
What does that mean?
It means like, there's a word for it in Somali. It means like nutritious.
It was kind
Like,
of
she was
like...
drinking it, like, as in, like, it was helping. It was going
giving
in
her what I couldn't give her.
Yeah,
so for me, the formula was like a jackpot. It was like getting the formula, because I just wanted my baby to be fed, and I didn't want to sit there attempting, and she's crying, starving.
Yeah.
And that's what people didn't
that's so
understand. They
sad.
didn't understand that, like, well, if I'm not producing milk, how am I supposed to feed her then? Is she just going to wait until the milk comes in? Like, do you know what I mean? So the breastfeeding was really tough, and I had to make a decision. I had to, like, just stand my ground and tell my family members, it is what it is, she's being fed.
Yeah, and that's the most important part. And I think there's something to be said in that. The fact that you said, you know, you just thought the milk was going to be flowing, and so did I. There was never a question about, oh, you know, can I breastfeed? Can she, like all these things. I'm just thinking everyone can breastfeed. It's just a choice, right? And then you get to a point where, you know, you have a child and you try and breastfeed, or for whatever reason you can't, whether the baby doesn't latch or you're not producing milk or whatever that looks like for you. And then it's kind of like you're looking at yourself feeling like you failed, and then you've got all their like, what's wrong with me? But then you've got family members asking, are you breastfeeding? You've got everything shoving you down your throat, saying that, you know, breastfeeding is the best thing, and they need to be breastfed till they're at least this old. And it's like, well, actually I can't. And now all of a sudden it's feeling like a failure, or feeling like that is on you, and it's nothing to do with you, or you're not the problem. It's just, you know, I feel like it's not...
There was also pressure. I don't know if you got this, but it wasn't just like just general pressure to breastfeed. There was this aspect of like faith, like the religious side of it, where it's like God, like, how do I explain it? They say things like the breast milk is like an organic, the best way, and God's given you that milk to give to the child. Like, they guilt you in terms of like, if you don't breastfeed, God will not be happy with you. Like, that was also another thing. And I'm sitting there like, no, because I know God knows I'm trying and I'm struggling. Like, don't do that, because you're just going to make me feel worse, you know? I got the maddest comments, man.
That happened to me as well. Like, I had a big issue with my mum about it. Like, everyone that would walk through the door to come visit the baby, you should tell her to breastfeed the baby, because
they need to walk back out the door.
And, you know, like, I'm like right there. I'm like right there. You know, as her friend, you should tell her to babysit the baby, to babysit, to breastfeed the baby, because she doesn't want to. It wasn't like, oh, she's struggling. It was she doesn't want to. And that's what got me, because it was like, have you even once asked me whether I want to or not? Like I would love to.
Yeah.
Like I want, like do you know? I feel like I missed out on that connection. You know that, the mum and the baby connection, like, when you see them, like, and they're like, she's just holding her baby and her baby's like staring at her. I feel like I had it with obviously the bottle, but that wasn't my breast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And anyone can feed her. When it's formula fed, I can give it to my mom, my sister.
I feel like I missed out on that connection.
Yeah. So I want you guys to tell us the tea on breastfeeding and how you, like, if it's a good bonding experience with your child, and if it took ages to latch. Like, I want to know everything. Literally.
I like this because we have like completely different
experiences,
like so far differently. So like I breastfed for 2.5 months.
Wow.
So it just got to a point where, so straight away from the get-go, she would be breastfed, but in the night she would have formula. So overnight she'd have formula, worked an absolute treat, and then during the days she'd be breastfed. And it just got to a stage where I felt that I wasn't producing enough milk, like the amount that she needed, she wasn't getting enough. So I found myself like giving her a lot more formula, and then before I knew it, I was like, okay, like,
she doesn't want the breast
anymore.
anymore.
It's not going to be the breast. It's not serving her. So let me give the formula. But for me, it never felt... I was happy to give up breastfeeding, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I never felt... when you're talking about having that kind of connection, for me, it's not that I didn't connect with her. Of course I did. But that, for me, wasn't based on breastfeeding. Because breastfeeding, for me, it just made me horny. Like, girl, it made me...
It will do that to you. It will do that to you. And no one talks about it, but it will do that to you. It will do that to you. I'm telling you.
I missed out on that.
Exactly. In my mind...
I didn't see that coming.
And for a long time, I found it not hard to admit, but I didn't want to say it because I thought,
you feel so
weird?
seedy and
is this weird? Like, am I the only one? And I don't know why I thought... And I don't know why I thought that a baby sucking on a boob would be different to, your partner doing so. But in my mind... you guys are using this for two different purposes, so it's not going to feel the same, but it absolutely does. So I would literally just be horny all the time, and not only am I horny all the time,
crazy,
I just felt that I'm always constantly having to give myself, like, I want someone else to feed her. Like, I felt like that part of me, I just kept giving and giving and giving and giving, and I felt like my body wasn't mine. I was there. My body was to serve the purpose of feeding her. So when it did come to an end, I wasn't upset about it. I felt relieved. I'm not gonna lie. I felt relieved. I did enjoy breastfeeding. Like, that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. Like, I absolutely loved it, and it was great. But I wasn't sad to see the end of it. I'm not gonna lie. And I think for me as well. So Milan, she actually started sleeping through the night quite early on. I want to say like 4 or 5 months.
Same.
And for me, I felt like a big part of that was she was having formula in the night straight away. So for me, when I do have another one, I would probably do the same thing now, but this time obviously it'd be more intentional, because initially with Milan I thought, I'd go till she's about 1. So I think next time I have another child, it would be a lot more intentional with doing it for the short period of time, keeping the formula at night, and then just taking away after like 3 months so that she's fully on formula, because then I get me back, and I don't have to, waking up in the night, I don't have to be the one that feeds her. My partner can feed her, or if she's she can go and stay somewhere. She doesn't have to be with me. I can go out with my friends or do things in the evening, or a date night, for example, and I don't have to think about pumping my ass off or doing all of these things that come with it. So for me, it was a short experience, but quality, not quantity. So
I really never expected you to say that.
Me too.
You took us completely by surprise. I was like, what?
I'm telling you,
it will do that
stuff.
to you.
No way.
And you're not even in the mood, but you're just...
But now you are.
It will do that to you.
That's how people get pregnant right after they have kids, isn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely.
I'm telling
mad.
you.
That's
telling you.
But people don't talk about it, so you always feel like, I'm
felt
doing
like, am I
something
the
wrong.
problem?
Yeah.
Is it weird? Am I looking at my, like, do you know what I mean? It was really
That's
weird
an
to accept.
interesting
That is-
perspective.
Yeah.
That's mad.
No one
Obviously,
preps you
this
for
is
that.
literally why
This is so
we
new to us.
We don't know anything about the whole breastfeeding experience.
Pretty
Do you know what
much,
I mean?
because I didn't do it for long. And even when I was breastfeeding her, I just felt like nothing was coming out. I felt like I'm wasting my time. And then I'd give up, and I'd give up after like a good half an hour. And then I'd be like, you know what, here, just take. And she'd be like, with a bottle, and I'm like, oh, you see, now I feel bad. Now you look hungry, like you look like you're starving. Now I feel bad. Like,
no, I'm the bad guy.
You know them ones? They're telling me why you're not breastfeeding. I'm trying to breastfeed, and then you're starving. Sad.
What about you, Brenda?
So I breastfed for a really long time.
Wow, how
So
long?
I was exclusively breastfeeding for 25 months.
That's amazing.
So
Mashallah.
and we stopped because I had like something happen with my eye. I can't remember what it was, but I couldn't open it. But the medicine that they gave me was making her sick.
Oh no.
And so like she would just projectile vomit like the breast milk. So I was like, okay, I have to stop breastfeeding her. And I wanted to anyway, but I wanted it to be more on my terms as opposed to, because of the medication I'm taking, I can't breastfeed you anymore. But it came to an end when it was supposed to. So I don't feel too bad about it. But my plan was always to just try and see how it goes with breastfeeding. I didn't want to give myself that pressure of having to breastfeed her. But in the beginning, it was very, very time consuming. Like maybe sitting down for 2.5 hours for just one feed.
Wow.
And that is just, and we were doing demand feeding.
tiring.
Yeah, so she would just sit with me, I'm feeding her, my partner will come and give me some food, and then 2.5 hours is done, and she feels like she's satisfied. And then it's like half an hour later, she wants to feed again.
That's mad.
And that was just constant. So I never, like, I could never leave anywhere when she was like freshly newborn. I want to say for the first like 6 weeks, she would always want to feed. And then because we were doing demand feeding, like the milk I was producing was starting to come a lot. And there's a lot of stuff that they just don't warn you about. Like you have no control over the flow of your breast milk as well. So I think when she was around 6 weeks, that's when I started to experience like the letdown, which is basically when you get like a rush of breast milk and it will spray whichever direction. And so I remember we were on the I'm so for real. So we were obviously doing the do, and literally like I don't know what triggered my breast milk, but I thought that like if I'm not feeding her, then it's not on essentially. But because I was stimulated, it just started spraying, and I mean like shooting across the room for a long period of time, just
Oh my God.
just like that.
Crazy.
And we were just like, whoa, that is like, it was super powerful. And then the same thing happened on the bus. She finished she finished feeding. I took my breast out and it just sprayed on this man.
Oh my God. Imagine just sitting there, now you got breast milk in your eye. That's mad, you know. I'll be like, what?
But it will happen wherever. Like it happened at mum and baby class. Like it would just, there was no way to control it.
Wow. Different directions from one.
So I mean, if you have a pierced nipple, it will go wherever
There's two.
Everywhere.
Well, 3, so it'll be a nipple and then out the 2 sides.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it will spray wherever. So that was something I did not expect. The amount of leaking as well.
Girl.
Did not expect that.
The leaking is dread.
I did not expect that. And then hearing another baby cry or seeing another newborn also made me. Yeah.
I've heard about that.
What do you know about going out, looking down, minding your business, looking
And
down,
then
like,
just big pat out of nowhere.
I've heard about this actually. It's actually so fascinating.
The little
I would leak through. I would leak through the pads. It was a lot.
I remember reading this story about a woman who was driving, and she said she probably heard like a baby crying on, I don't know, like she heard the sound of a baby either from outside the car or like on the radio. I don't know, but she was like, her breast just started leaking.
Yeah, it will get really hard. It will start to hurt, and then it will just start leaking as if your child is there. And I don't know if you guys had like phantom cries where you would like hear a child crying, but then
oh my gosh, to this
phantom
day.
cries, like that would trigger it as well.
Crazy.
Everything would like trigger it. The smell of a baby, the smell of like Pampers as well, like anything baby related. It was like, okay, I need to feed.
And you know when when your breasts are full of milk, does it feel like rock hard? Because I've always imagined it feeling like it's engulfed.
You get engorged. So one of the things as well that I had to do a lot was make sure that I would switch on breasts, because she had a favorite breast, but if she's wanting more from one breast, you can actually stop like producing on the other. So making sure that I'd switch. But you'd often find that like one boob is engorged whilst they're feeding, so you have to switch them over, and then that one gets engorged. And so it was
This
just...
sounds like a lot of
It is
work.
a lot. It's a lot.
Maybe God helped us, bro. Maybe God helped us, bro.
It's a lot of work.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a lot of work. And then we tried, I really wanted to put her on the bottle, but my health visitor was saying that once they move to the bottle, because it doesn't take a lot of hard work, they prefer that. So we wanted to wait until about 3 months, but she rejected the bottle. And so for me, I felt stuck. Like, okay, she's not taking this bottle. We're doing everything we can to try and get her on this bottle to take my breast milk, because I was pumping for her, and she just wouldn't take it. And that was hard for my partner as well, because he wanted to be involved. Because he just felt like he's just changing her nappy, and that's it, because she's with me 2.5 hours feeding, and then half an hour she's asleep, and then she wakes up again and she's with me. And I want to give him to her so that he can have that experience, but she just wasn't taken to it, and that was quite tough for him as well. I'd say. Yeah, and I think like what you were talking about with the bond, like having that bond through breastfeeding, I think there is a bond, but I don't think it lasts, if I'm honest with you. Like, it's there because you're feeding them, but like as they get older, someone else is gonna feed them. And my daughter prefers her dad to me, and I gave my body to her for a good 2 years. So I feel like there is a bond that you experience with them, but it's not as like almost like life and death, the way people make it feel. Like, if you do this, then you're gonna have this incredible bond, and if you don't, then whatever. I don't feel like it's like that with kids. I'm trying to think, like, what else? I think when they have teeth, that was difficult.
oh my God.
Because
strongest soldier here.
Yeah, that was difficult.
No.
That was very difficult.
Absolutely not.
Now I'm swinging a child and I'm the bad guy.
No, literally, because she would fall asleep on it, and then she would just clamp down, and she would not open her mouth. And so I'm trying to call my partner to try and pry open her jaws so I can get my nipple out, and then he's pulling on her, and now my nipple's just stuck there. There was a lot of accidents. So nipple shields are great if you do it, but yeah, breastfeeding is hard work. I don't think people understand. And I think that whole thing about, I was happy to breastfeed because people were saying you'd lose a lot of weight, which you do, but you actually gain more because you're just sitting down breastfeeding. Like, there's nowhere for you to go.
And you have to eat as well to produce, right?
Because you get so hungry, so you're eating, but you're sitting down most of the time breastfeeding. So then you try and stand up and breastfeed, and it just becomes super complicated. And then when they get older, it's a lot as well. And because we did demand feeding, whenever she wanted it was whenever I'd give it to her. So yeah, fears of like breastfeeding outside or trying to cover up, like that all went out the window.
Oh, you know my mate?
Yeah.
My mate just goes...
That
literally,
I'm telling
it
you,
all went
she
out
got
the
She
window.
whips it out. She don't care. Everybody that we know has seen it.
You see your
Everyone.
face.
She just goes. She just goes. Yeah, come here. She puts the kid there. She just goes. Or sometimes her
100%.
kid goes inside and pulls her tit out.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Literally. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the experience. I think it was good for me to see. I think how far I could go. I wanted to do a year. Once I did a year, I was like, okay, I want to try for 2 years. And then after that, she wasn't breastfeeding to feed. She was breastfeeding for comfort. And so then it was trying to break her out of that, and get her used to being with other people, because she would only want to be with me for the boob, and I wanted a different relationship with her as well. And I'd say when it came to an end, it was kind of, I think I cried on the phone to you, but it was hard because I didn't know what our relationship looked like now. Like, I was the person that would feed her, I was the one giving her milk, like that was my role. And then once we stopped, it's like, okay, what do I do now? Like, is she gonna love me the same? Does she want to be around me? Like, trying to figure out what our relationship looked like without the boob involved. I think I remember saying to my partner, she's crying, I don't know what to do, because normally I just whip it out and stick it in her mouth and that's it. But I don't know how to comfort her without giving her my boob. I don't know how to do this without giving her the boob. I don't know what to do without it. And that was a huge adjustment that I did not anticipate. Like, how do we navigate this relationship without the boob? Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I did enjoy breastfeeding. It was it was okay. Yeah.
You did it again.
Would you do it again?
first
Yeah.
long? Yeah. Or...
I think so, but I think I would introduce the bottle maybe at 2 months and not 3.
Okay.
Because I pumped a lot and like there was milk in the freezer, but there was no one to give it to.
You didn't go to a milk bank?
No. So this was also during COVID, so it just kind of wasted.
No. That's such gold.
Yeah.
Oh.
It just all wasted. So for me, it was like
I would have took it if I knew you. Damn.
I was wanting to give it, but it felt odd. Like, can I talk about this on Twitter? Who wants my milk?
No, you
like,
could. You actually
Trust me,
you could have sold it.
That,
some people
because
would have bought it.
I had so much milk just in the freezer, but she didn't want to use it. She didn't like it. I probably, if I was to do it again, it would be that I'd introduce the bottle a lot earlier, and then just so that I can have that opportunity to go out and do different things, and she's not just with me all the time. But yeah, because she rejected it, it was really difficult to like have her overnight at my mum's without me being there, or someone look after her. But I have to time it because I know, okay, by this time she's gonna want to feed. Like I had an ear infection, I had to have an operation, and I couldn't. They asked me, "Oh, do you want general anesthetic?" I said no, because she's gonna want a feed in 2 hours. And if you put me under, I'm going to have to stay overnight and she's not going to get a feed. So I did this like procedure without any medication. It was painful as fuck.
Oh my
but
God.
all because, okay, by 1 a.m. she's going to want a feed. So I need to be there to feed her. And if you give me something, I can't breastfeed her. So there was a lot of things. Girl, there was a lot of things where it was like, yeah, you have to sacrifice a lot. If I was sick, I couldn't take quite a few things because you're breastfeeding. Like I found I was more ill than my friends that weren't breastfeeding because they can take medication. There's just a lot of, I feel like, restrictions. And then there's that whole myth about if you breastfeed you don't have a period.
No, that's
no. I had a
So,
period.
hello, you missed me.
Game.
Yeah,
Like-
that's how you end up getting pregnant, bro. They
Literally.
think that it's a contraceptive
It's
method, but
not.
it's not. It really isn't.
I was shocked to find that I was having a period. Like, why is this coming? I was happy to not have a period. But yeah, you will still have your period breastfeeding.
Can I ask, you know, the beginning part of after you gave birth, natural cesarean,
Emergency C-section.
emergency C-section, and like right after you gave birth, like how intense were you going at the breastfeeding?
To be honest with you, because of how traumatic the labor was, when they gave it to me, I was so out of it. After you have a C-section, they put, I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like, you know, them swimming bands. Like, yeah, they would put like stuff like that on you to, I don't know if it's to warm up your body or what, but there was a lot of stuff in the way. So my first experience of breastfeeding was actually not the best experience that I had. I'm trying to feed her, but I can't move. My legs going, like I could feel one leg, I couldn't feel the other. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm going like paralyzed. I don't know what's going on, but
a catheter in as well, right?
Yeah,
for like 24 hours.
so many things.
Big time.
So many things were happening. I wanted to position her a certain way. I tried to ask them to remove like a lot of the wires and stuff that they had on me because it just restricted my movement and I couldn't. So the first time I breastfed her, I don't even know if she had anything. I don't know what came out.
Colostrum, innit?
Yeah.
It takes a while because it's really thick.
Yeah. And so then there was this nurse where she was just showing us just techniques for like massaging the breast and all of that stuff. But when she was born, she wouldn't wake up to eat for anything. We'd have to like get her naked to try and wake her up to feed. Even when she'd sleep, she didn't really want to feed. It was a lot of like doing to get her to feed. And then even when she would feed, I wasn't too sure if she was getting anything. I couldn't feel anything coming out. So it's quite hard for me to tell, is she eating, is she not eating? And then like you get comments from family members. For me, it was the opposite. It was, you should actually bottle feed her. You should give her formula. Like, the comments that I got.
To meet my family.
It was the in-laws for me.
Family need to chat to mine
The
and
comments were like, oh, you're not giving her enough. She's not having enough. You need to give her formula. Breast milk's not enough. That's why she's crying. That's why she's not sleeping through the night. But with breastfed babies, they will wake up when they're hungry.
Yeah.
So for her, it was every hour on the hour I'm breastfeeding at night.
Oh my God.
And then during the day, it's a lot longer. But yeah, I'd get so many comments like, oh, you should probably give her formula. And it wasn't until we went to, I think our discharge appointment with the midwife after 28 days, whatever. And they said, oh, she's gained weight. I told everyone, go fuck yourselves. No one should tell me to give her anything else because she's actually gained. She hasn't lost any weight. She's gained weight. So this is working. So no one should tell me what I should be doing. This worked. And I think that gave me the confidence as well to continue, because I told myself if her weight drops, and I know it naturally does, I'll just go to bottle feeding. But if it stays the same or she increases, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And that gave me the confidence to just continue doing what I was doing. But outside of that, yeah, I had a lot of pressure to actually formula feed her.
That's crazy.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, never. I've never heard that.
It was both. It was both.
Mine
It was
from...
my mum would say it, but I think she only breastfed for like 2 weeks with all of us. So she was always formula feeding us. And then my partner's mum, she formula fed as well. And so I think for them, they also wanted that experience of feeding the baby.
Oh, okay.
Because there wasn't anything you could really do with her. Like, you carry her for a bit, she cries, she wants milk, and it's 2 hours where I'm holding her. Like, they wanted that experience as well. But I had so much pressure to formula feed when I really just wanted to try breastfeeding.
Yo, listen, that takes back to the first, it takes back to the day Milan was born, and I remember being in the hospital, and at the time I wasn't really thinking about like formula. I really wanted to try breastfeeding, and my partner's mom, like, she came, and then she was doing the whole, we need to give formula, like the breast milk is not enough, she's still hungry, like you need to give her
exactly
formula.
that.
And it's so weird because I remember at the time, like, especially for the first year after Milan was born, I just felt like I'm fighting here to try and do things my way, and I'm trying to show you guys that yes, I can take tips and all the rest of it, but I want to do this for myself.
Yeah.
And it was really hard. I felt like I'm constantly hearing, oh, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, have you done this, have you done this?
That's why I kind of like, well, I didn't like COVID, but I liked the fact that it gave us the opportunity to parent the way we wanted to.
It gave me a chance to say no.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't, sorry.
Yeah.
Hello.
The outside
rules,
world
restrictions.
is
Yeah.
not there. Yeah.
It's just an easy no.
Yeah.
I can't. Sorry, COVID. The law
sorry, we're in
says you
lockdown.
cannot come. Sorry.
Literally.
What do you want me to say?
No, sorry, you can't.
I'm a law-abiding
visit her.
citizen, me.
You can visit her when we're out of lockdown.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, you made such a good point there, because like in a way it was like not a lot of people could judge me
Yeah.
for sitting there with a formula, because COVID, like everyone's in their homes, and but eventually, like I would say like 4 or 5 months after she was born, that's when everything started to open up a little bit, the restrictions were lifted, and like that's when people were like, oh, she's not breastfed.
But by this point, you're already comfortable.
Yeah,
but she's
I mean,
not.
by that point, I was like, yeah,
actually.
what about it? You know what I mean? Yeah, by that point, I was like, yeah, and look at her belly. She's got a full belly. She's happy.
Do you know how much money you saved?
Girl,
Do you know how
that was
much
the
money
honesty.
Because that SMA, that SMA weekly.
Bro, shall I tell you something? After I found out that I don't want to say the names, innit? The one that begins with an A. Yeah, that one. When I found out that one and the one from Tesco own brand is the same shit. When I found that out, I was fuming, because one is like £20, the other one's like 10.
You naturally just go for the branded one. You think the branded one's better, but it's the same.
Apparently, the rules and regulations in like making formula for babies is the same everywhere. So you could buy it from Morrison's, and you could buy it from the pharmacy, like a proper like SMA or the other branded ones, and they got the same shit in it. They got that actual same shit in it, because they can't reduce things and they can't increase things. Right. There has to be the same formula.
It's man-made, isn't it? Like, come on, man. It's the same ingredients.
There's regulations on that, because you're feeding babies. There has to be tight regulations on that.
And the fact that now, I'm sorry, it really bothers me that they put security locks on it. So I don't know if you've seen this, but like they have like them in boxes now, or the security locks, because that's like, it's common that people have been stealing it. But it's like, I appreciate,
people need to feed their baby.
I'm not saying teeth up the people them plays. That's not what I'm
teeth it.
saying. But
Teeth
be
it.
for real, like if you're gonna feed anything, it's something to feed a child. Like, I'm sorry,
I'm
like
so sorry.
Be
Yeah.
If
for
I was
real,
ever
like,
in a
come on.
situation where I
stealing-
had to, I
Come
swear
on,
to God,
man.
I would. I swear to God.
You would have
Look
to.
at me,
You would
I
have
have
to.
to. I wouldn't even think twice.
I'm gonna walk out
I'd
of
be
this. I'm
scoping.
walking
Where
out.
can I teeth it from? Hey, listen, who's looking? She's not looking. I know people who used to teeth it fully from Tesco's. Big
I
Tesco's.
don't know. I honestly, there's certain things that
With cost of
I'm not
living
mad
as well,
at.
It's not cheap, bro.
I'm not
It's not
mad
cheap.
at.
formula is not cheap. I remember like just one box. I'm not even gonna say the name of my brand. It begins with a H. I used to get like the big box from Asda, and you know what used to really like mess me up? There's like age groups, so there was like 0 to 3, and then
it's all bullshit.
I know, but I
follow
follow the rules.
Bullshit. It's all the same.
I know, but I follow the rules because it was my first time in it, so I was just like, oh, okay. So now she's 4 months. I have to get this
The
kind.
4 months one, oh my god! Do you know what Hannah did? My daughter, yeah, she was having the A1, the one that begins with A, right?
The brand we will not
that
speak
one, the brand that shall not be named, that one. And it started making her throw up. She would just projectile vomit it out. And then we tried the ready-made version of it, and tried to put it in a bottle, warm it up a little bit, and then give it to her, or just give it to her cold. And she literally would projectile vomit. Then one day I was in Aldi, and I was like, oh, formula. After I saw that it was all the same, I bought the Aldi one. She did not vomit once from the Aldi one.
Oh, wow.
She was lapping it up. She loved it. She drank the Aldi one for like a good 6 months, I think it was. Oh, wow. She loved the Aldi one, and it was like £8.
Oh,
Whereas the A one was like 16 quid. Like, what kind of shit is that?
Well, like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive.
The top was so big as well. Like,
I was paying
it's
like
the same
it was
shit.
like I think it was £10.50 every time I bought formula.
That is a lot.
£10.50. I was like, damn. Like, yeah.
That's crazy, you know. And you know,
I used to just think breast milk is free. It's free.
The labour though, the labour to do it.
The labour, yeah, but it's free. You don't have to ever worry about, oh, is it running out? And you run to the shops and buy it.
So yeah, man, that wasn't.
No, listen, you look in the thing and you know you got one bottle left and it's 3 a.m. and you're thinking,
oh.
Also,
someone's gonna be hungry.
Did you guys even go through that stage where like you go to Asda and it's like there's no formula? Like there was a shortage.
There was. Do you
and
remember
now
the
you're
shortage?
like, oh my god, my child's gonna die.
There was a big shortage.
I used to run to like another Asda, like looking for formula. Yo, the anxiety.
You know, I saw a video of a woman with, you know, those Aldi bags, and there was like 15 of those A brands one in it, and I was like, fucking bitch, why are you taking all the formula for all the babies? Look at that selfish bitch.
Oh my god.
And I remember I was cussing for the longest. I was like, look at some people are just fucking selfish.
You can't do that.
My kid could be drinking some of that.
Do you know what I mean?
Can't be doing that.
It's cause he lives.
Literally.
You can't be doing that. That's a bit greedy, man.
But I was actually angry about it.
But there was quite a few people that were like buying a lot of formula just to sell it on for a higher price.
Oh
No.
God.
Can we talk about
Yeah.
just side note really quickly, yeah? Because I need to get this off my chest. Reseller culture. Yeah? People keep asking me, oh, why haven't you gone and got your license back? Like, why haven't you gone and got... People don't understand. People were reselling. You know, when you go and you book your practical
test.
No, not the theory, the practical.
The practical test, yeah.
People were reselling that. I couldn't buy a test.
Oh my
They were selling it for
God.
like £200.
It's ridiculous.
And it's not even a guaranteed
60 quid, bruv.
pass.
It's 60 quid. They were buying all of the tests and
Joke.
selling them for £200.
Joke. Big
Reseller culture is disgusting.
Horrible.
Get it out of it.
But you'd find though, like, especially during COVID, people were taking advantage of the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
So
No, big
nappies were
time,
always like a
Nappies.
shortage, wipes, formula.
Toilet paper.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
I remember
God,
seeing,
they were beefing.
I remember seeing a pack of 4 toilet papers, toilet rolls, and it was like 15 quid.
Oh my God.
It was just
For a pack of
dingy,
4.
dingy little corner shop.
I promise you, I could just get in the shower. I'm not even
I'm
doing
not gonna lie
business
to you,
anywhere but my
I'm not
house.
bucket
I'll
that I
just
wash
get in
my
the shower.
bum with.
Guys,
Guys,
the
just
toilet
shake.
roll.
Good.
You know,
I'll get an old t-shirt. I'll use that to wipe my bum after I've washed it with my hand. We good.
the toilet paper.
We all right. We got a bucket. We wash with our
I'm
hand.
good.
We all right.
The toilet
Just get a
paper
little t-shirt,
situation.
just quick
And you're
wipe.
done.
It didn't affect me.
It
Like,
didn't
the
affect
toilet
me as
roll.
well, to be honest.
Because I use a jug, I use water, so it is what it is. Like if there's no toilet paper, there's no toilet paper.
Every time we go, whether it's a wee or a poo, use water.
Yeah.
Every single time. So obviously, if
man,
you're just
was-
dripping, you just little wiggle. You're all right. Just do a quick wiggle. Maybe sit for another extra 2-3 minutes. Air dry it.
No, I hear that.
That didn't affect us.
No, COVID was a wild time, man. It was
Very
a
wild.
time. And if I have
We
another
needed
one,
it,
I'm gonna
man.
do a massive baby shower because I just wanted that. I wanted a baby shower, and it didn't happen. So next time, innit?
Yeah, you gotta do it big. A fuck off, baby.
I have to do a big.
I have
But the
to.
thing is, in my head, I'm like, it's so much nicer when it's your first child.
No, I feel
It don't
you.
matter. Baby shower,
But you
baby
could,
shower.
but
I know, but like
It
people
don't
are gonna
matter.
look at me like, well, you had one already. It's not as special. Like
It is.
that's how I
It's so
feel.
special.
100%.
Don't worry, we're gonna write on the invites. This is the first one, so you better be very excited. Bring your good vibes only. Don't ask us any questions.
yeah,
Write that on
literally
the
just
invite.
come. Yeah,
100%.
just come. Like this is my post-COVID baby shower, basically.
And even still, I had a baby shower. I'm gonna have a baby shower the second.
course.
Who's gonna beat me?
Yeah. I just thought it was a culture of like just first-time mums. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that. I thought it was more special when it's your first child.
No.
I guess
I think
maybe
you do it whenever.
yourself, maybe that feeling. Like, I get what you mean. Because
that's-
like, one
that's
of
how
my
I
other friends
felt
didn't
though,
get a
yeah.
baby shower as well.
Well, damn, what about the kids? You only had the baby shower for one. What about me?
I didn't get a baby shower either.
I didn't do a baby shower
listen, baby
myself.
shower
I
every
had a
year.
gender reveal.
Fifth kid, come through.
Good.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
through.
do it.
And then your
Definitely do
partner
it.
come with a Burberry shirt.
Listen, it's impossible.
You know, the baby shirt. Get a new Burberry shirt every year.
I'm screaming.
I love it. You know that when, oh my god, Americans are different.
No,
Have you
they're
seen the way
different.
where they, and then it's like, oh, I didn't want a girl. I didn't want a
Oh,
girl.
the
Now the
tantrums.
big,
Yeah.
the big kerfuffle when it. It's like, guys, please.
No, the
You get
tantrums I'm
angry that
seeing
they-
with the baby.
tantrums.
It actually
Like,
scares me.
No, but like I
Bruh.
hear you didn't get the the gender that you want, and no one's saying you can't be upset about it. Like when
the
we found
the
out we
level
was
of
having a girl,
disappointment.
my partner was silent the journey home. Like
Really?
it was a silent journey.
Do you know what? Well, it's his fault because he determines whether it's a girl or boy. So
Yeah, it's his fault. It literally is his
I'm
fault.
like, like be upset, have your little moment, but
That's mad.
tantrums and kicking and mashing up the
that
baby
is
shower,
a
like,
massive
be
ick.
Did you
easy,
see the
be
chick that mashed up the whole
easy.
baby shower?
No.
Yo, she smashed everything up.
I think I
the
know the one you're
chair,
talking- yeah,
everything.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why.
Oh, she was angry, all because she was having a girl.
It's like,
And
guys,
then you
come
know
on,
what's
kids
mad?
gonna see
They
that.
move like that, and then they still
Exactly.
upload it onto the internet. Don't just
no, but it's like
why upload
if you're
it
gonna
to
have a
TikTok of
child, it's not a guarantee. You can want a girl till kingdom come, but it's not
It's
a
the
guarantee.
man that determines it.
Exactly. And
Exactly.
you can't now turn around and be
Upset
angry.
at the child.
Yeah, like angry with something that you've got. Like it's a
sort out your
50% chance.
testosterone. Gotta be angry you're having a girl. It's your fault. You know them ones.
No, it is what it is. Like I know, like one of my mum's friends, she had like 5 boys before she had a girl,
Really?
and she kept trying for a
For the
girl.
girl.
That she kept,
Wow.
she kept
Really?
having boys.
4 or 5 boys, and yeah, they've shut up shop now. But I know she would have wanted.
They gave up.
She really wanted a girl. She really wanted a girl.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
to
gonna
me,
lie
it's
to you. I
such a
love being a
risk.
girl mom.
Yeah,
Same.
me too.
I'm sorry. I don't know what. I
Same.
can't imagine having a son.
I can't imagine it now.
I
yeah.
really can't. I'm so happy being a girl mom.
Honestly.
I can't. I love it. I love it. You know, she does her little nails and she's
Yeah.
like, Mommy, can I put some nail varnish? And then we sit there and we put nail varnish on. And then she sits there like this for like an hour.
What, drying it?
Yeah, just let it.
Bless
I'm like,
her.
let's go. She's like, no, it's drying.
That is so cute.
It's the most. Oh,
It is
man,
cute.
girl
Now, like my
mums.
daughter's now starting to like understand like that she's a girl in a weird way. Like
She still calls me he. Yeah. She's like, Grandma, he's coming. She's like, he.
that's what I think it's the short hair.
Oh my god.
No, but literally, my daughter now she's like obsessed with like princess.
Yeah.
Right.
So now she
So
wants to
Hannah?
pick her outfits.
Oh, I love
And
that.
for her, the princess outfits are like dresses.
Dresses.
Yeah.
She doesn't like wearing trousers now.
Oh, that's
Sometimes
so cute.
I look outside, it's looking a bit cloudy. I'm like, you're going to nursery. I don't want to take you in a huge pink dress. Like, but it's so cute when you see that she's kind of like becoming a little girl now. Like before she didn't know who she was, but now she's like princess dress or pink dress, and like, and she likes to be pretty. She likes the little clips in her hair.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's really cute. I can't imagine having a boy now. Like even though when I was pregnant, I genuinely believed, I don't know why, but I genuinely believed I was having a boy. Even my mum was referring to the baby as my grandson. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
because even my mum had a feeling, and I was like, if you're saying grandson, it's a boy. It has to be. And then we had a little cute little gender reveal in the garden because obviously COVID. And I remember when I saw the pink confetti,
Confusion.
I literally, I screamed.
She said, I'm
When I
gonna
told
mash
you,
up the place in a minute.
I didn't bug out. I didn't bug out, but I had to rewire and adjust.
Because you've been thinking of a boy this whole
imagining
time.
a boy the whole time. She
Yeah.
even had a
My
name.
grandson. That's mad.
My mom was even imagining a grandson, and then when I saw the pink, I swear to God, I was so shocked. I was so shocked, and then I had to like think of girl names now. It was just it was crazy.
You know, I thought I was having a boy too.
Yeah.
all the way up
Really?
until
Yeah, wait till I speak, but go on.
do you know the day that I went for the scan, that night I was asleep, I was dreaming, and when I woke up, the very first thing I thought of, and do you know when you wake up sometimes there's a thought in your head as you wake up, and it's the first thing you think of, and it was just so odd, but all I could hear was brown skin girl.
Aww.
That song was just in my head, and it was like I was singing it in my head all the way to the hospital. I was singing it in my head the whole time she was doing it, and then she was like, do you want to find out? I was like, no, just write it down. I don't want to find out. I'll find out at the gender reveal. But the whole time I was saying to my ex-husband, I was like, I think she's a girl. And he was like, no, he's a boy, he's a boy. I'm like, no, I think she's a girl. I was in the car going,
That's crazy. Beyonce was telling you something.
oh, Beyonce told me you're having a girl. And as well, my cousin, the day that I found out I was pregnant, the only people that knew was my mum, his mum, and him. Yeah, 3 people that knew. The day I found out I was pregnant, I went to her house, and she was like 6 or 5. And she touched my belly and she said, Nazra, you're going to have a baby and it's a girl.
It's so crazy.
That would
how
have
people
rattled me.
I said, my mum, let's go. We're getting out of here, bro. What kind of shit is this? I was like, what the fuck? I said, my mum, I went to next. Who did you tell?
No, did you get it? I know someone has snitched.
Yeah, I said, who did you? I just told you not to tell anyone. Who did you tell? She's looking at me like I'm crazy. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, she just said to me, you got a baby in your tummy and it's a girl. How did she know it was a girl?
That's
that's crazy.
wild. I would look at that child like you're a little demon.
So I had that flashback.
I'd be scared, bro. I'm like, yo,
Not her having a gift, but she must
I
be.
had that flashback when I was singing Brown Skin Girls.
Yeah.
I can have a baby and it's a girl.
oh,
I was like, she's a girl. And then when I actually found out that it was an accident that I found out.
that's annoying.
no.
I found out on accident like a week before the gender reveal.
Was you angry?
And yeah, not really.
No, I would have been pissed.
I was pissed for like a half an hour, and then I was like, I'm having a girl. I knew it was a girl.
Oh my god.
Oh, how did you find out yours was like? What did you think?
So we thought it was a boy. Like,
Yeah.
My partner, he really wanted a son, and I was like, I see myself being a boy mum. Like
Yeah.
that, I just could see myself running around after these kids. So yeah, we thought it was a boy, and everyone around us thought it was a boy as well. Like everyone was convinced from the way I was carrying and all that,
Oh,
why-
those
carry
myths.
high up,
All of
it's
that
a boy, or
rubbish.
carry something.
Literally.
What is it? If you carry up here, it's a girl, or is it if you carry
Yeah,
down
if
here?
I
carry
think
low,
if
it's a
it's
boy,
a boy,
right?
yeah. If you carry low,
So, yeah, if you carry
well,
left,
that's
it's
the
a
myth
boy.
anyway.
Yo, my stomach was hanging. Like at the edge of a cliff. It was hanging, and I had a girl. So that's how you know it's not real.
It's
Yeah.
a load of bullshit. But yeah, everyone thought we was having a boy, and we worked together as well at the time.
Oh.
And like our teams, they all thought we was having a boy. So we found out, and at first we wasn't sure if we was gonna find out, or if we was just gonna like keep it a secret. But then yeah, we found out it was a girl. Silent journey home, as we've touched on. And then it was like kind of excitement, but we was like, we don't want anyone to know the gender. We did a gender reveal at the baby shower, but everyone was, when I say convinced, to the point like, because we would talk about the baby obviously at work, but we wouldn't give he or she's. We would just talk about the baby, and there might have been a few. According to them, there was a few times when I said he, but it's a lie because I knew it was she. But yeah, they were convinced. So when we did the baby reveal, like even in I have like a book from my baby shower where everyone like signed and wrote messages, and so many people were talking about, son and he and this, and they convinced to the core that I was having a boy. So when they all found out that I was having a girl and the fireworks went off and it was pink, it was like, wait,
Wait a
girl? Everyone was shocked, but it was nice. It was so nice.
Oh my god. Yeah, I imagine myself as a boy mum.
Yeah, I feel like it's
I
got to be a
definitely
boy
did.
next. He's gonna run me ragged.
I was like, yeah, I was a bit of a tomboy when I was younger. I think I could see myself
Yeah.
playing football with my son, but
It's so crazy that like what you
imagine it.
think, because now having Milan, like I just love being a girl, man. Like,
Oh my God.
I love it. Like
I
going
love
to
being a
get
girl
our
mom.
nails done and all of these different things
Yeah.
that.
I feel like.
Just-
Do you feel like she's a mini you?
yeah.
No, that for sure. Like, and in so many different senses as
Yeah.
well. Like my mum and my nanny. So I said my nanny. Like, that's just what I call her, my nanny,
Aw.
but she's nanny. They always talk about the fact that she is literally me when I was younger. Like her mannerisms, everything she does, the way that she goes about her day to day is literally me. And it's so funny because you'll just like, this is my favorite stage so far because they really have character and personality.
Oh, they are so funny.
Yeah.
No,
Yo, they are so funny. I'll be crying every day.
Do you
They
get
are
it?
so funny.
Do you get, like, the things that they come out with is absolutely brilliant. It's so funny because sometimes she'll say something and I'm like, where did she get that from?
Yeah.
Like, who did you hear this? Like, what is going on?
Who taught you
Like,
that?
there was one in particular, she would turn around, she'd be like, you better watch yourself.
Oh my
You
God.
better watch yourself. And she would say it always at the perfect time when it would be fitting to say
Yeah.
something like that. So she'd be like, hey, you better watch yourself. And I'd be like, because I really don't know where she's got this from. And then one day I was at my partner's family house and his sister was there and she was saying something. I said, you better watch yourself. And then
You heard yourself.
as I said it, and because she'd heard me say before, like, I don't understand where she's got this from, like, because we'd laugh about the fact that Milan would say it.
Yeah.
So when I did it, it was like we both just paused and we was
Wait a
like,
minute.
wait, it's me. I'm the problem. I'm the drama.
And the problem is, literally, these kids are listening. They don't learn it from
Yeah.
just some random place. They learn it from someone, either the parents or the school. They
pick up
they are
so
so
pick up
funny.
a lot.
No, they're bloody
They are
hilarious.
so funny. My mum's, you know what she said to my mum the other day? My mum was like, she was in the other room. I was like, Hannah. And she was like, Grandma, I'm busy. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Oh,
No,
And then
listen,
my mum was like,
listen.
what?
It's so brilliant.
So funny. My mum literally told today, she's like, that was the funniest thing she's ever said. She goes, I was here. She goes, I was giggling like this quietly for like 5 minutes. She said, Grandma, I'm busy. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
She's got boundaries, yeah? She was just like, listen, like, I'm not
Th-
ready
That's
yet.
another
Love that.
thing. When you know, the age of gentle parenting and
Yeah.
all of that great stuff. But seeing how your parenting
goes into effect.
goes into
Yeah.
effect. So like watching her where she calms herself down, or if
Yeah.
I'm upset and watching her, she'll be like, Mommy, are you okay? Do you need this? And
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh,
It's
my
so
something's
nice.
going right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Oh my God, Jenna is so polite. Like, she is such a polite little girl. Like, every time I sneeze, she's like, Mommy, you okay? I'm okay. Like, or if I hurt myself, or if I'm, bro, I don't know where she got this from. I think she got it from Cocomelon or something. I don't know. But one time I was sick and I was laying on the sofa. And I was like, Jenna, Mummy's sick. I didn't think she would do anything. I just said it. I was like, Mummy's sick. Mummy's not feeling well. And she came up to me and she touched my forehead.
Oh,
Okay. And she would get like her teddy and just comfort me.
oh
with it.
my God, that is so
And
cute.
the maddest thing was, I didn't realize what she was doing. It dawned on me afterwards, yeah. But she got like one of her long toys or whatever, and she stuck it in my mouth.
As a thermometer.
Yeah.
No, kids are so, and it's
My daughter's the same.
and it's so funny.
My
So
daughter's
this
the
reminds
same.
me of yesterday. So I'd got home and Milan had like not long finished dinner. Like her bowl was empty. She wanted to show me. Great, fantastic. So I think I was eating something and I watched something. It was absolutely cracking up. So at this point, I'm like choking, I'm coughing. So she just pushes her bowl over. She said, Mummy, you want to be sick? Are you okay?
That's so sweet.
Bless you for
Because Capella will be like, don't talk with your mouth full. This is what happens when you talk with your mouth full.
my
She said that to me literally yesterday when I was out with my friends.
That is, counts will be
Shamed
like
me
that.
in front of my
Yo,
friends, you
you
know.
think that's bad? My one said to the people outside, Mummy just did a fart. It was very loud.
Let me tell.
If I
Oh my
speak,
God,
Bro,
Wait,
we was on
everybody,
Oh my
Mummy farted.
we were on
I
Tower
think it's
Bridge.
hilarious
No,
too.
we were on Tower Bridge, and Capella has this thing where she likes to
I
joke.
like her name.
Oh, thank you.
Capella.
Yeah.
I like Milan as well. Milan's lovely.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So she has this thing where she likes to joke that like she's like made a fart sound. So anyway, she's blowing into her dad's neck, and we're on Tower Bridge, and she's like, ew, Mummy, you farted. That's so disgusting. Oh my God, move out the way, Mummy farted literally on Tower Bridge, and people are like laughing. I'm like, Capella, I did not. Oh my God, oh my goodness, oh, Mummy, you farted. Like the theatrics. And when I say, if black people could go red, I went red. I was so embarrassed. I was like, I need to get off this bridge because everyone here thinks I farted. And she kept making the sound into Trey's neck, like, just, you know when they blow the raspberries. Mummy, you did it again. Oh my God, you just got toilet. I've never been so embarrassed in my whole
One
life.
thing kids are gonna do, they're gonna shame
So
you.
embarrassed.
They are going to shame you.
They'll tell
in
everyone
so
your business.
unprovoked.
Capella, when she
Unprovoked.
was learning, because we call private parts the actual word, so vagina, penis.
Yeah.
So she figured out like, okay, boys have penises, girls have
Yeah.
vaginas. Tell me why. We're on the train, and she's like, "Oh, is that a man?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, but he's got a big belly." I said, "Okay." Listen, but only pregnant women have big bellies. I said, "No, sometimes, people can have big bellies. If he's a man, does he have a penis?" "Excuse me, do you have a penis?" I said, "Capella, we don't." We don't do this.
You gotta grab them. You gotta.
But she said, "Well, what's wrong if he has a penis?" "I have a vagina. You have a vagina. Mum, do you have a vagina?" Constantly.
I would.
You just want to melt into.
Mortified.
And then the other thing she did, which I swear, if we could get off the stop, I wanted to. Like, there was a lady that was walking across the carriage with high heels. This girl unstrapped herself from a buggy, got down and started mocking the way she was walking. She's like, "Look at me."
Kids will.
Yeah.
I was leaving Tesco one time, and it's like our local Tesco. We're there all the time, like know all the stuff. And the security guard is a woman, but she's got really short hair.
Bring your mic a little bit.
Oh,
closer.
sorry, is that better? Yeah, so the security guard has really short hair.
Oh my god, I know what you're gonna say. Mine did the same thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Listen, we saw somebody who used to be one and decided to be the other.
Okay.
Yeah. And now they are a lady.
Mm-hmm.
And my one's looked at her like confused like this. And then she just looked at Mummy. "It's a he." I said, "Rah."
No, when I say the ground,
How
come
did
and
you know?
swallow me. Come and get me.
I said, "Stop." And then
Trying to explain that to a toddler's mad because
You can't explain
I
these
tried to
things.
explain it to Capella, and it's like she got it, but she didn't. So during Pride, of course, she saw trans women, and she's like, "Okay, that's a whoa man." I said, "No, it's just." No,
it's so funny.
The next they come up with, yeah.
like I just.
She's a genius,
I said, "That's a you're a woman. That's a woman." I said, "No, Capella, that's a woman."
She's
They just fighting, like, I'm
She going far in life. She saw it from a different perspective. She going far in life.
I wanted to cry because I'm fight girl, please. Like,
Yeah. Oh my god.
it was too much. Like me and Dad, I swear, if the Elizabeth line could just swallow me,
Stop.
No.
that girl will embarrass me unprovoked, and I don't understand it. I don't understand.
Up and
We
down.
can never just travel, and she keeps she doesn't say anything. Everything she must comment on. If
Kids
it's
are
someone's
like that,
hair,
man.
everything.
Yesterday there was a woman who had a big mole here, and I knew. Sis has come. We're talking, and she's mentioned something about a spot, and I'm like, no, Dad, I don't have a spot. She's got a spot. I said, Milan, don't point. Stop doing that. I said, and then I had to go into explaining. Well, they're moles, and some people have them.
Yeah.
Some are
But
big.
really, you want to laugh.
And I said, guys, like, please, you can't just be pointing anyhow and be making big statements. Please.
too much.
Do you know what man used to do? I swear, this man got angry at her. Like, an actual grown man got angry at her. So she used to do this thing, where if she sees anyone that's, like, older than me, "Hi, Grandma." "Hi, Grandpa." "Hello, Grandpa. Are you okay, Grandpa? You old,
Oh
Grandpa?"
my god.
And then she did it to this middle-aged man, yeah. I swear he was probably not even 40. She said to me, "Mummy, it was on the bus. Look, it's a grandpa.
Oh my
He
god.
is a grandpa." And then the guy was looking at me. He was like this. He was like, "What?" He's an Arab guy. "What? I'm not grandpa." She's like, "You grandpa." And he's like, "I'm not grandpa." She's like, "You are a grandpa.
Yeah, we can do go back and forth with my
You
child.
are grown." And I'm like,
You need to relax. You need to relax.
Shut
It's not
up.
that
I'm
deep.
like, "Shut up. Be quiet. Stop."
It's not that deep. Most people, they should just look at the child and think it's a kid.
Yeah.
She's done it so many
Exactly.
times. They laugh. Usually they're like,
Yeah.
that's so cute. But this one was like, "I'm not a grandpa."
He was having a midlife
I was
crisis.
like, "What?
Yeah.
No."
Yeah.
Well, she just said you are, so now what? Now what? Where do we go from
Grandpa.
here?
Yeah, that's gonna be me next year then. Yeah.
They do a lot.
Tight.
Capella used to do
Severe,
as
that
well.
one's
Like
long.
if she saw any black guy, like when she was around 2, she'll call him daddy.
Oh my God,
swear
my-
to God,
Yes.
you know your father. Do not do this to me. You know him. Daddy, you know your father. Do not do this to me.
That happened to me last week. That happened to me last week. We had a Somali Uber driver. She said, "Hi, Dad." That's not your dad. You just saw him right now. You should
It gets me vexed. I'm like, girl, you know who daddy is.
Listen,
Don't do that.
At least your daughter is smart, yeah, and she only does it to black men.
Oh,
My daughter, white, Asian, any color, any ethnicity.
Everyone's my father.
Daddy.
The Somali guy looked at us and he was like, "Hi, you're Somali." I said, "Yeah, you just because you're Somali, that's why you look like her dad. You look nothing like her
I
dad."
promise you, I've said that before. You
Nothing
look
like
like her
her
dad. That's all.
Yeah,
I had to
imagine
say
me.
look like her dad.
Imagine me walking past a white guy and she's like, "Daddy." What can I say to him? I can't even say you look like her dad.
You look just like her dad.
You got that daddy vibe. That's what you're giving off.
And they literally, it's so awkward. You can see it on their face. They're just
So
like, yeah.
awkward.
Did your kids ever go to someone like in this random stranger street and be like, "Pick me up"?
Yeah, bad
Oh,
times.
do you know? No, she didn't.
No way.
She
Mine
didn't
did
do
it
that.
to so many white men.
Oh god.
So many old white men.
Not in the street.
She's like, "Pick me up."
Oh,
And then they're looking around. They're like, "Shall I pick you up? Shall I not pick you up?" And I'm like, "Huh, just do it." And then he picks her up and he's like, "Hello," and she's like, "Hi, Dad." All the time. And he's like, "I'm not your dad."
She didn't do that, but I tell you, there was a period she would, if she's seen someone's got a bit of food, or she would just go
Yeah.
and just
Oh my God,
position
I do
strategic
that. Oh my
positioning.
God.
And they're like, and shuffles a little bit closer.
Or she'd be like, "Mummy, I want." I had to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop
you
doing
have
that.
been
Stop
fed.
does
Doing
that.
that. Now, not only do I look like I do not feed you, you cannot be coming and eating with everybody.
You
Like,
honestly
hello,
can't.
can you please? Shh.
Do you know when they've just eaten as well? And you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you just ate."
No, I will shout it because it's not me you're gonna think is not feeding their child.
Right.
You just ate. What do you mean? You just had breakfast.
No, do you know what? Capella is a swindler. Like, whenever we used to go to soft play, when I say that girl will get free stuff, I take her everywhere. We'll
Their
be
kids are
lining up
thieves.
and she's sweeting someone. All of a sudden, they've bought her lunch. Fantastic. We're out again. Someone's just opened a packet of crisps. Now they want to give it to her.
Oh my God.
Any little thing, she will swindle her way to it.
At least she did
Any
it
little
legally.
thing.
Now they're gonna go over there, grab it, and come back to the seat with a lollipop. With she had a croissant at one point.
Oh, the bottles as well.
She came back with a water bottle.
Yeah.
Another time she came back with like 2 packets of crisps. I don't know how they're not seeing her. She's underneath the counter, innit? So you just see little hands just go like this, listen, and then just go out. It's so funny.
Milan definitely tried to steal one time. And she got caught.
Oh, I remember that day.
Do you remember that day?
I remember
Oh
that
my!
day.
So I'm doing what I'm doing in our local shop. I'm buying up the things, and as I've gone to turn to leave, Milan just looks a little bit like she's got her hand in her pocket.
Mischievous.
And she just looks sus. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And I'm watching, like, there's a young boy who works in the shop, but he's like looking at Milan. So I looked at her. I said, "Wait, did you take something?" He said, "Oh yeah, but it's okay." I said, I said, "Milan, what you got in your pocket?"
Oh.
She's taken. I said, "Go and put it back."
What was it?
It was like a little, just them stupid little like sweet things that you get in the shop. It was just like a little packet of them stupid sweets. I said, "Go and put it back." Then I had to do the whole big explanation in the shop of why you do not steal.
You know what mine? She came back home with a calculator.
Excuse me.
Why?
A whole calculator, you know, scientific calculator.
Of all the things she could
She
take.
came back, it was in her bag. I opened her bag to take out her lunchbox. I see, what the fuck is that calculator doing in there? I went to the teachers the next day. I said, "Have you lot lost the calculator?" Here. She came back with a little lamb, like a little sheep, and she had it in her hand like this for time. Her hand was like that. She wasn't opening her hand.
Oh,
I said,
man.
hey, what's in your hand?
What you got there?
Let me see. She did this. She said, "A lamb." I said, "What? Where did you get that?" She said, "School." I said, "You're going to take it back tomorrow. It's mine." I said, "It's not yours. Where did you get that from? You got it from school. It's not yours. Give it back."
No, this reminds me of the story that I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but I read it online, and a little boy had given like the mum's wedding ring or something like that. Had proposed
Yeah, to the little girl.
to another girl.
You're lying.
Oh, you didn't see
A
that?
diamond ring. A diamond ring.
Big diamond ring. He'd taken the mum's ring and proposed to a
The
girl at
engagement
school.
ring, yeah.
And it took
my
the girl's
God.
parents came and was like, think you're missing something.
No.
Bruh.
Yeah, no, you see kids.
Would you give it back?
You got to. How old was the kid?
It was like, I want to say like 7 or 8.
Oh, you're bringing that back.
It was young.
You were
Maybe
bringing that
younger.
back.
Maybe younger.
No. He was a toddler. He was
It was
3.
even younger.
Was he 3?
I don't know why I thought he was
Yeah, he was
older
like
than
3.
that.
They were little. They're like this big.
Oh,
And
God.
then the parents were giggling. They were like, we thought it was a Haribo ring, and it's a full-blown engagement ring.
No,
Like,
you wouldn't believe.
It's a full-blown engagement ring.
That is
And then
so
when they
mad.
gave it back, they were like, we didn't even know it was missing.
No, you wouldn't believe your child came home with an engagement ring. You wouldn't believe.
Does Milan talk about, because like, you know, me and Troy are engaged, but so Capella's always like, oh, he's my husband, he's not your husband, and I'm gonna marry him. And so then we have this like fight where it's like, no, he's mine, and she's gotten really upset with the fact that, one, I'm not her sister. She's very upset with that. The other thing she's upset with, any picture she sees of me where I'm not pregnant, she hates. Like, where was I? So she saw a video where I was a baby. She's like, well, where was I in this? And then she stopped talking to my mum because she wasn't in the video in 1996. So she refused to speak to my mum. But anything to do without her, like, she does not like at all. So any pictures where, like, now I have to explain that she was an egg for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And then she grew into a baby.
She was always there, really.
Yeah, but she hates the fact that, it's weird because, of course, she doesn't know me before her, but, like, that version of myself does not exist to her, which I find very, very strange. But does Milan do that with you, where it's, like, any picture of you when you were younger?
No, not at all. But she does like watching. She loves watching the video of her being born. So I've got a video
That's good.
of her being born. I'll show you guys after. I've got to see my vagina and all. Yeah. But
You didn't even buy me dinner first. You didn't even bought me dinner.
I
and
wish
she
I
loves
recorded my
watching it.
birth. Since you showed me, I really wish.
I highly recommend it to everyone. Like, I would want that for every birth. Like, watching that back, and especially because in the moment, like,
All
there's
the
so much that
feels.
you forget, and you know, you're tired and all
Yeah.
the rest of it. So being able to watch that back is just like it's brought me to tears before. Like, I would highly recommend.
Luckily,
if you
my
can.
mum, she's the type where like every milestone, every situation, she's got the phone out. She's,
I love
she's
that.
giving Kris Jenner, like, you know. Like, my mum does that. So during
You're
labour,
doing so well, sweetie.
yeah, during labour, she was literally.
That is so
that
good.
She was
really
taking
nice.
because obviously it was COVID, innit? So she was the only one with me. So she was updating my husband. He was up all night just getting WhatsApp pictures and updates from my mum. And yeah, like, I'm grateful for that because looking back, I was like, damn, is that how? Oh shit, is that how I look like? And like,
I
it was
wish
just
I had
interesting
that.
to
I
see
don't
it.
have any of that.
Oh.
I have videos of me throwing up gang signs with the gas in there.
Stop it!
With the gas in there.
That's also good,
I was
though.
way goddamn.
Oh my god! I hear it.
But I have nothing else other than that. My mum was too busy watching my daughter come out of my vagina. She didn't have time to like.
Yeah, she was in the moment, man. She just
Yeah.
wanted to see her granddaughter come out. But that's wild, man.
I wish I had that. That's
No,
sick.
it's crazy, and it's so funny because leading like up into the labor, like, my partner was like, I don't even want to see what's going down that end. Like, I don't want to see. Like, I might be traumatized. Just I'll stay here. But the moment that, you know, the midwife was like, I can see her head, we can see her face. He was trying to get under her arm. So then,
You don't
like,
want to miss that. It's
yeah,
such a
he
special
was so
moment.
like, if he could have been in my vagina with her, I mean,
Do you know what? I trust Jaden. I trust Jaden.
Wait a minute, not like that. But
I'm gonna piss myself. I'm gonna go toilet in a bit, guys.
Should we have a break? We got like half an hour. Like 25 minutes left.
yeah,
I think we should.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
and
a
then
we
fan.
can
It's
have
very hot.
we can have
let's
a
take
quick break. Jamie, can you hear me? Can we pause it?